Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some bad financial decisions together. So, the condo saga has continued. Unfortunately, I don't have a conclusion of whether the buyer has accepted my counteroffer or not, but at this point, they went and viewed the house again yesterday, and they're going back today. The most recent thing is because I'm losing so much money, I told them it's as is, and they want like the inspection reports, and they want to make sure that none of the major stuff is going to break on them. So I did tell my realtor that we could have a concession of I will buy 1 year home warranty. If that's the only thing that is keeping me from not owning this condo anymore, then that is a very that is an okay concession for me. So a little bit of background on my condo, and you know what? I'm tired of complaining about my condo. I know I said in previous videos that I will never ever pass up a opportunity to complain about this stupid condo, but I don't want to complain about it anymore. I just don't want to own it. So I bought it in 2018. I was happy with it, but then we had an entire pandemic in 2020, and I just don't like breathing other people's air anymore. And so I talked about to my parents, because they own a farm, about moving nearer to them because they're aging, and it would be really nice to be able to just go outside and not breathe 100 other people's air at the same time. But and there wasn't any immediate plans for that. But in January 2023, I got laid off, and my condo is $2,000 for the mortgage and $1,000 for the HOA. So it's really expensive to be in without an income. And I had an emergency fund, but what I didn't want to happen was, I'm out of work for 6 months to a year. I am using my savings account, it gets depleted, and then I still don't have a job, I don't have any money, I can't move. Like, it's just easier to do things when you have money, which I'm like, oh no, that's a weird concept. But like, I just wanted to move while I had options, and I didn't want to be in my condo, so decided to move. I moved out in March 2023. It went on the market April of 2023. The first buyer came in and backed out, and I was only going to lose like $500, so like that was fine. But then in December 2023, I had my second buyer, and I would have lost 10K, which I was not very excited about. But they also backed out. And so we had a third buyer in February, and their offer was for minus, I would have had to come out with $35,000 on my own. So I was like, that is too much money for me out of pocket, but we'll start the short sale process. And then, crypto rallied, so I had some more money. So by the time in June, when the lender told me to die poor and denied my short sale, I was like, hey, I have this much more money now. What if you come up in your price, and you know, I'll put in more money. So I would have had to pay $18,000, but I think my closing was on July 10th, and it fell through. So the third buyer, I went through them twice, and I still own my condo. So today, in September, I got an offer, and well, like, I got it earlier this week, but it was for a negative $60,000, and I was like, that is not possible. But we did counter offer, so now it will only be $44,000 that I'm in the hole. And yeah, that sounds like a lot of money, but since April, I have spent $51,000, and I've only gotten about 12K of equity out of my condo, so it really doesn't make sense for me to keep my condo, even if I had it on the market for rental for a little bit, and I would have been losing $1,000 a month. And then you don't know if, the tenant is going to destroy the entire house, and then I might have $20,000 to $40,000 of damage to my condo, and um, fines from the HOA and other things. Like it's really risky to own a unit, and especially if I'm losing over $1,000 a month when I'm renting it. I just am not very keen on that. And the longer I own this condo, the more things that are going to go wrong. Like, the water heater is going to go bad, and then it's going to flood my downstairs neighbor, and then I'm going to have to get insurance involved, but I'm also going to have to pay $20,000 out of pocket, or however much it winds up being. Like, it's going to be a big pain. And that's not even including the risk of a special assessment. And $1,000 is very high for HOA, and so mine's actually pretty well funded. So all of the foreseen things are funded, but you never know. And I am filled with dread whenever I get an email from the HOA, and I just don't want to get the surprise. Now you have to come up with $30,000 in 3 months. And so, I just think my risk profile right now, I would rather get a loan or loans in my case for $44,000, not have my condo anymore, and just pay off whatever loans I have to do. And that way, it's only a year of me owning the condo, basically equivalent. But the $44,000, I'm going to have less of a obligation per month. Like the loan rate will be much less than the $3,000 a month, so I will be able to afford my life right now. Because right now, 99.9% of my take-home pay I have to spend on housing in my car and my condo, and it is way way too much. Like, this is about half of my take home pay. So as soon as I sell my condo, I will have 50% of my take home pay, like one entire paycheck that I can use towards other things. And I don't know about you, but I could have used $51,000 on, anything in my life. That's my money, and I don't think that having one bad financial decision should haunt me for the rest of my life. And, even if I don't accept this offer, we don't know. Like, I could have this on the market for another 6 months, and then I'm paying $20,000 in the hole. Did it make sense for me to hold it on for 6 more months just to have to pay $20,000 anyway? There's a diminishing return to owning this condo, and I would just like to not own it anymore. Also, now, even if I wanted to move back, the dog that we rescued for the sheep farm had puppies, and now I don't even want to tell you how many Great Pyrenees, but I own a number of Great Pyrenees, and they don't do well with condos, and my condo association has a limit of one pet per unit anyways. So I couldn't go back even if I wanted to, which I don't. So, with that out of the way, I'm now thinking about what if they do accept the offer, and how will I get the money to the title company in order to settle this debt. And yesterday, when I first made this video, I was thinking these were my two options, but I'm actually going to go with option 3. So the first option would be I take out a 401k loan, and the last time I checked, it would be like a $250 obligation per month to pay it back, which is fine. And the way that my 401k, because every plan is different, I'm not allowed to pay it off early, but I can pay it off. Well, I'm not allowed to make partial payments, but I can lump sum pay it off early. So it's, $250 a month until I decide to pay off the whole thing. The $14,000 of the Roth IRA should be all contributions, so I will not get a early withdrawal fee. And then the $20,000 from my brokerage account. So the and that 20,000 would be for margin. That way I can continue to have the 20,000 that I already have in my brokerage account be in stocks, and it'll be tight for a few months, but I'm making money, and it'll pay off the interest from the margin already. So the option 2 would have been to just take all of those loans and all the money and just put it into my Robinhood account, and then use margin to pay the title company. And the struggle with that is the $10,000 from the 401k loan does already have an interest rate on it. And so not only would I be more pressured to perform in my brokerage account, like it's just double dipping at that point, and it messes up the proportion of margin withdrawal, margin, regular margin, and my brokerage account. So what I'm pretty sure I'm going to do is when I take out the 14,000 from my Roth IRA, I will put it into my brokerage account. That way I have $14,000 in unsettled in cash, and I have $34,000 in the margin withdrawal. So I'm not going to be in danger of having a margin call with this margin withdrawal. And then because I'll have $3,000 a month that I'm not spending on my condo, as I start to put more money back into my brokerage account, then I will have more. I can start to use that unsettled cash to make more in the money put calls or selling put options, because I'm not going to put the whole $14,000 in play in the market, but I could take 8,000 and do a few really out of the money margin calls on things that I want, and that way I'm earning some premium to pay back the margin interest from the 34,000 that I'm gonna have, but it's not gonna take me as long to get the balance of my margin withdrawal in line with something so that I can, invest like you're supposed to invest. I'm not sure if I will actually do the max distribution for 2024. I might just focus for this year on getting myself out of debt, because the 401k loan, it might only be $200 a month in interest, in minimum payments, but at the same time, it's much better to invest when you do not have debt. All debt is risky. Even this $34,000, I will make enough from the distributions that I do have now in order to pay off the margin interest, if I lose my job. But, it's the difference between just giving the title company $14,000 or $34,000 is that I can use a portion of that to make safer plays and still be engaged in the stock market, instead of I just spent the money and now I don't have $34,000. So I think I am going to, in total, because when I started my journey, I was in my retirement accounts right now, even if I don't contribute any more money, I will have enough money to retire at retirement age, but now I'm messing around with it. So for my IRA for the next 3 years, either 2024, 25, 26, or 25, 26, and 27, I will pay the max IRA distribution as an apology to my retirement account for messing around with it. And then the 401k loan, what I'm going to do is pay the minimum payment. And then whenever I do wind up paying it off, however long it took me to pay it off in the first place, I will just continue to pay the $250 as an additional amount. And then hopefully between those two things, I will have an equivalent amount of money in my retirement account as like today when I decided to mess with it. So that's what I'm thinking right now. I think I'm going to go with option C, and we will see, even if uh, or if this offer, my counter offer, is even accepted. And I actually have 3 contracts that are they expire on October 18th, and um, I'm going to have to cancel them pretty much as soon as I accept this contract, because I'm gonna have to cancel all of my option contracts that I have. But I'm gonna I'm gonna have to make I'm gonna have to sell out of some of my stocks just so that I have zero margin taken out. That way I can do the margin withdrawal and not have to get any large fees. But I think, taking for a $35,000 loan, having only $250 of required repayment is great. And or 44,000, and then the other 34,000, it's not money out of my paycheck that I'm going to pay that margin. It's going to be from the distributions that I get from the high income ETFs. So um, once I know whether they accept the offer, I will update you, and hopefully this works out well and I just do not own this cursed condo anymore. Let me know what option you would pick, or if you would do none of these things, and like how would you fund doing this. So anyways, I will talk to you later. Bye.